Welcome back to another episode of Protect the World. Through regular documentaries, my goal is to share the stories of not-for-profit organisations who are making the world a better place. This month, I've travelled to northern India in order to feature an organisation who are dedicated to creating a cleaner, more sustainable world. A big thank you, as always, to everyone who supports this project, and I hope you find the team at Waste Warriors as inspiring as I do. Cheers.
I was the first person in my family to leave the city to study. So it was a 40-hour train journey from Chennai to Varanasi. So for me, I think this journey of waste actually started during these travels because I was traveling pretty much across the entire country from south to north and looking at the beautiful landscape, ever-changing landscape from south to north, the changing food, changing language, changing culture. But you just put your head down, like the whole journey you see trash. The whole journey. So that for me that just triggered a question in me, like, where does this go? So at Waste Warriors, our mission is clear. We are trying to catalyze systemic change to solve the waste crisis in the Indian Himalayan region. So the Indian Himalayan region consists of 13 states, right, in the northern belt of India. So we work in the western part, which is 2 states, Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand. Within these 2 states, we work in both the capital regions, which is Dehradun in Uttarakhand and Shimla in Himachal. And we also focus on not just the urban landscapes, which have some sort of collection system, we also focus on the rural areas. The Indian Himalayan region is much more than just, snow-capped peaks. There's so much more to it. You have all these wetlands, which are these biodiversity hotspots, for all these migratory birds that come from all over the world. You have all these natural preserved forests. They have these beautiful rivers and all these streams of water that actually bring so much life, from snow leopards to sloth bears to large other mammals, tigers, leopards, you name all of them. All of these species are there, including tons and tons of small species. Like we're finding new insects all the time. We're finding new species all the time. So it's a hidden gem. So at Waste Warriors, our flagship intervention is called the Zero Waste Program. So there's about 100 wards in Dehradun right now. In the urban part of Dehradun, there's a ward 97, which is called Harrawala ward. Right? So in this one ward, this is our practice ground. This is where we do all our experiments. This is where we learn. Typically, people don't get reliable waste collection services. So they end up dumping waste on the streets. When lots of waste piles up on the streets, somebody comes along and burns it. If you do have a collection, the contractor typically collects mixed waste, they dump it in a transfer station, and then eventually some of that waste is collected and sent to a dump site which is really far away. So that's typically how waste gets managed in Dehradun or any city for that matter. Where Waste Warriors works, we ensure reliable waste collection services. So we offer door-to-door collection through our own drivers, helpers, our own vehicles, managing all of that, understanding how complex and difficult waste operations is.
आज से 3 साल पहले जब ये वेस्ट वॉरियर यहाँ पर आए थे तो हमारे को इस चीज़ की नॉलेज नहीं थी कि भाई ये क्या वेस्टेज है प्लास्टिक का, इसका क्या कैसे इसे डिकम्पोज करना है कि क्या करना है, हमारे को यूज़ करना नहीं पता था। लेकिन इन लोगों के साथ जुड़ के हमारे को पता लगा भाई सूखा कूड़ा गीला कूड़ा किस तरह अलग करना है, इसको जलाना नहीं है और इधर उधर फेंकना नहीं है, क्योंकि ये पशु भी खा लेते हैं और वही जैसे गाय वगैरह खाती हैं तो उनको नुकसान होता है। तो हमने ये चीज़ इनसे सीखी है कि भाई किस तरह हमें इनको इकट्ठा करके रखना है। बाकी का आगे का काम इनका है कि कहाँ पे लेके जाएंगे, इनको कैसे भाई रिसाइकिल करना है, वो इन्होंने हमारे को समझाया।
We also have, not just collection systems, but we also have a processing system there. We've set up our first material recovery facility for Waste Warriors and for the state of Uttarakhand. So it's not enough to just collect it and then dumping it somewhere. We then ensure that it gets processed in a segregated format. All the food waste gets composted in our in-vessel composter, and then dry waste gets sorted into 20 plus categories, providing livelihoods to lots of waste workers, and then sending it for different authorized end processing. So that's what we do in this program called the Model Ward program in Dehradun urban area. My personal favorite at Waste Warriors, it's called a Paryavaran Sakhi model. It's something that we're super proud of, and if you're ever in Jim Corbett, I would strongly recommend you to come meet our Sakhis and you will know what I'm talking about.
So Corbett Tiger Reserve is home to the Indian Bengal tigers. That is what I think it makes it very special. And it's the place where human and wildlife merge. There's an increase in the tourism industry. Tourism is booming, so definitely local economy is also improving, which means that the more waste is now coming in to the region.
एनवायरमेंटल थ्रेट्स में है हमारे पास मेनली, अगर मैं अपनी पर्सनल बात करूं तो जो टूरिस्ट है वो बहुत ज़्यादा एक थ्रेट के रूप में उसको हम देख रहे हैं सीरियसली, क्योंकि हर एवरी सैटरडे संडे हर वीकेंड्स पे इतना ज़्यादा टूरिस्ट आते हैं, तो हमारी जो रोड्स हैं वो पैक हैं, सारे होटल्स पैक हैं। इसके साथ में जब वो मंडे में जब टूरिस्ट वापस लौटता है तो तब देखते हैं कि इतना ज़्यादा गार्बेज पड़ा हुआ है। फ्राइडे की कंडीशन अलग है, मंडे की कंडीशन अलग है। तो ये नेचर को थ्रेट है बिकॉज ऑफ टूरिस्ट, वाइल्ड लाइफ को थ्रेट है बिकॉज ऑफ प्लास्टिक पॉलीथीन्स। लोग अपने जो खाने की चीज़ें, बची हुई चीज़ें हैं, उनको डालते हैं जंगल की तरफ। उसके पीछे हमारे हर्बीवोर्स आते हैं जैसे चीतल, सांबर, और उसकी पीछे पीछे हमारा टाइगर भी आता है। तो कई बार केसेस बनते हैं कि हमारे बफर में जो लोग जाते हैं अपना फ्यूल वुड कलेक्शन के लिए, तो उसमें टाइगर के से वो शिकार हो जाते हैं। ह्यूमन वाइल्ड लाइफ कॉन्फ्लिक्ट को बढ़ावा मिलता है इससे।
So when we talk about the problem of waste management in these Corbett Tiger Reserve, we wanted to find a solution. And we thought that maybe why not work with women? We know that in workplace it's mostly the men. So there are not a lot of opportunities for women, and especially if we talk about rural part of the India. So we wanted to do something to challenge that. So we identify some of the women in the local communities. We call them Paryavaran Sakhis. Paryavaran Sakhis in English translates to friends of the environment.
And we have about 25 to 30 women who are a collective of entrepreneurs. They drive a vehicle, they go door to door, they collect the waste, they collect the user fees, they bring the waste to a waste bank, they sort the waste there, and then they sell whatever they can sell, and we support them with the rest to create a financially sustainable model for these Paryavaran Sakhis. So they are a beautiful combination of diverse women. You have some highly educated women, like some with master's degree, and some who are completely uneducated. You have some who live in huge bungalows and they are owners of these properties, but then there are others whose house just survives on the income they make from this work. You have lots of upper caste women and lots of lower caste women working together. So this is a rare combination of women and women entrepreneurship and leadership in climate action, in trying to solve this environmental crisis in such an eco-sensitive area as the Jim Corbett Tiger Reserve. So we want to create young problem solvers, right? Young public problem solvers. Everybody is busy solving private problems, right? Solving problems for the elite, solving problems for the few. But there's very little effort going in solving problems for the many.
So India is the most populous country, right? In which 66% is youth. And the more youth I meet, I get to know that everyone wants to serve, but they don't have the platform. So to provide that platform, we have launched YUVA, that is Youth United for Waste and Climate Action in Waste Warriors.
So we always like to add a bit of fun and challenge and competition to some of these elements that we organize. So one of the most beautiful things we do is called the Eco-Olympics. It's a 1 month long inter-college competition, and there's multiple types of tasks that they need to do.
Our team from Doon University called the Doon Stewards. The name of our team is Doon Stewards. So we are here for our cleanup drive. There are like 13 activities during that 1 month of duration. This one is cleanup drive. Then we have poster making, conscious campaign awareness, and many other activities.
I used to see waste as a problem, but I did not know the solution. After participating in Eco-Olympics, I knew that we can manage waste, we can generate awareness, and that's how I started my journey. After completing my master's in social work, I joined Waste Warriors.
Youth today are already aware. They already know everything. So you don't need to spread awareness in youth. You need to get them to take action. So we want to create this movement of young people who take ownership of the place they live in, who see problems around them and feel, currently they feel helpless and hopeless. We want to transform that into a feeling of, I can do something about it. We want youth to believe that if they see a problem, they can fix it. So at Waste Warriors, we have a team of over 220 warriors full-time working across 12 plus locations in 50 plus panchayats across 2 states in Uttarakhand and Himachal. But that is a tiny fraction of the entire region. Uttarakhand and Himachal together have 15 to 18,000 villages. We work in about 50. So our hope in the next decade is to ensure that every village in Uttarakhand and Himachal and the Himalayan region has access to waste collection services and waste processing services. Beyond that, I think the hope is to shift the thought process around local consumption, taking power back, bringing it back to people. Hyperlocal production, hyperlocal consumption, that's the way forward. Eating fresh is healthy for me, right? It's better for the environment. Eating local is healthy for me. It's better for the environment, right? Walking, cycling is healthy for me. It's better for the environment. Having a sense of community, right? Not having the incessant need to buy things. I become happier. It's better for me, it's better for the world. So I really need to optimize what's good for me, and the world will take care of itself.
Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Protect the World. It's been a little while since the last episode, and keen eyes will have noticed that I'm on a different continent now as well. I had an unfortunate run of luck in South Africa with 2 organisations in a row falling through at the last minute, and then I also took a bit of time off to explore Namibia and celebrate my birthday. My original plan had been to head up the west coast of Africa for the rest of the year, but I ultimately decided that I needed a change of pace and that India, Nepal and Sri Lanka would be better suited for the next few months. A quick note on this month's documentary. We're often told, somewhat dispassionately in the West, that the impacts of climate change are disproportionately felt by the Global South. But I don't feel like we actually talk about those impacts when they happen. More than 400 people have been killed by floods and landslides in this region since June. And at least 17 people were killed by a cloudburst here in Dehradun while I was filming this month. And that's before you mention all the homes and livelihoods that have been destroyed as well. As always, half the money that came into the Patreon this month was donated directly to Waste Warriors, plus a bit extra. But Waste Warriors have also set up a disaster relief fund for the communities they work in, which I'll link to below. The people in these communities are among the least responsible for the effects of climate change, but they're also among the hardest hit by them. So if you have the means, I'd strongly encourage you to contribute whatever you can, and also to push for stronger action on climate wherever you are in the world. Another huge thank you to everyone who supports this project, financially or otherwise. And I'll see you next month for another episode of Protect the World.